Okay. Gary, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I've got your code in here, as you see, Catapult. And Dennis is Dennis Norton, all one word, with the D and the first N of his last name capitalized, and they are case sensitive in the link. All right. I'm in my back office over here at the IBF Infusionsoft back office. And Dennis, later on when you get a chance to watch this video, you'll see everything on here that I'm talking about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to email you guys a script, okay? It's just basically a letter in a Word document. You can select all, copy this document. The only thing you want to change in yours, and I'll send you, when I send you your copy, I'll put your link in here versus mine, okay?
Okay.
Gary will have his link at registration line, and Dennis, you'll have yours. So I'll have, like, up here on the title, IBF email script 02. This is for me. I'll put IBF email script _ catapult for Gary, and IBF email script _ Dennis Norton for Dennis. That way, you won't be hammered with phone calls. If any phone calls do come in, they'll come in through me, but you'll have the link. As soon as they click on that link, it'll go to your link, and you'll get credit for the traffic. Back here in the office, if I look at link tracking stats, okay, it'll show me, you know, the number of hits. I can go back and do like a month search and check, hit search and reload, and it'll show all the hits and opt-ins so far. The one opt-in on the online OMN to the video that we're using, the primary splash page that we're using. Gary signed up. He opted in, so, you know, he can get a feel for the system, you know, in case he wants to write his own script. You know, you can do that as long as you're using your link. Now, up here in my ledger, when sales actually convert, okay, so let me get over here and see the invoice number, clawbacks. It doesn't like to stay up, okay, and payments made. It'll show the links, you know, which ones generated what, okay, and who they were sold by. And right here, when it's sold by, it'll show, you know, either Gary's name or Dennis's name, okay. So I'll know who sold what, you know, who generated that sale, so that I can pay you, you know, accordingly. And then I'll send the money to you, either PayPal or, you know, direct check, direct wire. And then, of course, it'll show the product sold. Right now, the only product that we're selling is the bank financing product through the OMN video. So if I look through here, right now there's no referral partners, no sales, okay? Now, how are we going to go about selling these? I am going to send you the link for national realestatepages.com. And what you'll do when this loads, when the interface here loads and it shows the map of the U.S., Dennis, you'll probably work Florida, and you can go, along the Gulf Coast and up and down the East Coast, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Connecticut, Vermont, and all these. It would take you probably about a year or two to get through there. If you just did all of if you did all of the state of Florida, just the state of Florida alone, it'd probably take you a year to get through that. Okay. So if you're down you're in Tampa, right?
Well, I'm near Tampa, Newport Richie.
Well, basically you can advertise anywhere in Florida. I would start, in the closest area. And then what we'd do is we go to Hillsborough County real estate pages, on the national real estate pages. You can type in the name Tampa, Florida, or you can type in your zip code. And then we click on this tab here, find an agent. When we get to this, surprisingly in Tampa, there's like a lot of agents. If we look at the total listings, there's 25 listings per page, and we have 275 pages of listings.
Okay.
There's
got to be some duplicates in there.
Yeah, so if there's probably some old listings that will bounce back, and that's okay. If you take 275 times 25, you'll have 6,875. If you did one page a day, okay, just 25 agents a day, it wouldn't take you 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes at the most. Because here's what you would do. You would take that with your code here, okay, and we're going to say Dennis Norton, all right? So I'm just manually keying in your code here, and we say click. And if you got your Gmail account open, you go back over to open a tab in Gmail, and you'll see all this when you start watching the video. I've got another computer running over here where I can monitor what I'm doing. And let's say I'll log into my main account here, and I want to send an account or send an email. I'm going to go here and compose. I probably should have used another email account besides this, because my friends, I can't put this on public. My friends from El Paso, put funny emails like brain farts, okay? And you leave, a personal inquiry from Ernest Odell in the title. So take that and just highlight the title at the top, put that in there, and then we're going to come back over to our national real estate pages, and we're just going to copy, right-click, and say copy email address on this link on the right hand side, come back over here, punch it in. Now I'm not going to send this, okay? But you see how simple it would be for either one of you guys, okay? So all you have to do is just go back over to the state page that you're working, right click on this, punch their email address here. You can put a personal inquiry from Ernest Odell, or you can change the title to where do you go when the banks say no? And then, leave the personal inquiry from Ernest Odell up there. You could, don't get too crazy with it, but you might, say something like that. Since you don't know a whole lot about the business, that's okay. You don't need to, know a lot about the business. You're just generating the lead with your link, okay? Gary's would be Catapult, yours is Dennis Norton. And in the letter, you would change that name to Dear Tony, or just take that whole line out. Now, what's the guy's name over here? We would say Dear Daniel, okay? So you can personalize it one by one. Just remember, you got to change, the letter. That's the only thing you got to do is email, title, where do you go when the banks say no? Just copy the whole template here.
The whole text.
And then we're going to jump back over here, get the email address, right click, copy the email address, punch it in up here, and put his name in here instead of the template. Now, when you copy the whole Word document, if you were to embed the link in here, it would take the embedding. So, it's like I could do that right here and say, copy this, and when you say bold, and then give it a little highlight, and give it a link, put Dennis's in there and say that, okay, take this out, okay, and save it as and I'll send that template to you, okay? This, okay, I could go in and change that to Catapult and save that as now I've got one made for each of you. Okay, so if I go back and I open this back up and look at it, it shows that I've got Gary's saved in there. Now I've got one for each of you. All right. So if I take that and come back over to the email, take all that out, put that back in. Now you see what it's done. It has actually made this live, and it's got Gary's link in here. So basically all you got to do is just cut and paste the whole Word document, pop it into your Gmail interface. It will copy all the formatting, highlighting, bolding, even the bullet points, and your email, your tracking link will be embedded. As far as calls, if they have any calls to make, they can always call me back on their nickel at 806-297-3241. Most of the time, they're just going to click on that link right there, okay? And they're going to go over to the website, and they're going to view that video. And when they click on that, it has right up here the way it's tracking, and then it'll pop up with this video here. Now I'm going to close that, and I'm not going to send this, and I'm not going to save it as a draft. I'm going to discard. So you know how to do that. You know how to punch in the email address. Huh?
I was just going to say one thing. It might remind you is you have to change the county, put in there Tulsa County.
Right. Since, you know, if Dennis is working in Hillsborough County, he would change that Tulsa County in the letter. So let's go back and compose the letter again, okay? And I want to take my template out, and let's punch that back in. Yeah, it helps to read. Where do you go when the banks say no? And I might put and let's go ahead and save that. And I'll put the same tagline in there. We might just take that reference. I think Gary and I were talking about reformatting some of the verbiage in here the other day, and just take the reference to the county out and say, I talked to a lot of people. Oops. Who would like to buy or invest in real estate, start a new business, etc. I'm writing to ask you a small favor. I talked to a lot of people who would like to buy or invest in real estate, start a new business, or expand one they already have. So if we take the reference to the county out, that's just less that you have to change. That's less that you have to reference. It does help if you leave, you know, if you change their name, okay? You don't want to say, Dear Realtor, okay? You want to address them by name, okay? So let's go back over here and look at Daniel, okay? We would, you know, we would take this, and if you wanted to leave it blank and then come back and compose, go back to the top, and where it says Dear, comma, type in Daniel, go back, grab his email address, go back to your Gmail, punch that up in there, okay, and then you look down here and you see where your link would be in there. Gary would be working with his. As far as the contact info, they would be calling me if they called at all. So, you know, if you're emailing from Island Thinking at Gmail, we might change your link to Island Thinking 247 or whatever it is. Okay.
Or make something else up. Another email account.
You know, I can do that on the fly. All you got to do is just let me know. But this is real simple right here, just cutting and pasting. And once you get the routine and the flow down, you can probably I can do about 10 of them in 15 minutes. 20 or 25 I can do.
I said it's like production work.
Yeah, you can do 20 or 25 of them in 30 minutes or so. And what you would do is just kind of make a note. You might write it down on a pad, you know, which page you finished up for that day. Just remember, when you go into finding an agent for your county, let's say you start with Hillsborough County. Well, it's only going to show about 10 agents. And you have to go down here because these are agents that have actually registered with the site. You have to go down here, and it's only got one page on registered agents. You go down here and click on additional agents. So you would go ahead and get registered, you know, send all your emails out to the registered agents on the page, and then click on additional agents and do like one page a day. There's 25 agents on each page, and then come in the next day and start on page 2, and then just, you know, run through the 25 agents. Like I said, it takes me about 30 minutes to run through 25 agents. Doing the cut and paste, send, cut, paste, send. You know, it's just, I'm working the state of Oklahoma, Tulsa County, and I'm, you know, working in the evenings. I'll do some in Houston. But it really doesn't matter which growth areas that you have, because Florida has a lot of foreclosures and all. So there's still people looking for financing for, you know, real estate deals and businesses. So what's neat about this Word template, if you got Word on your computer there at the library, you can just pick it up and open up, you know, from your email. Just click on the document.
Yeah, I'm going to get off of that thing. I'll make sure little minutes get down to see me tomorrow to drop off my laptop.
Yeah. Now, when you get your laptop, do you have Word installed on it?
Yeah.
Okay. If not, there's a nice little application over at abiword.com that's very small, and it works with Word documents. abiword.com is, you know, latest version is 2.8.6. It's stable, has a number of operating systems it works on. It creates Word doc files, okay? It's a word processing program similar to Microsoft Word. It'll do docs, RTF, and text files. It's just down and dirty. It's got a lot of things, and I use ABI Word It's free, and I can pick up ABI Word and pick up this document right here with it. Do a select all, Control C, copy, jump back over to my email, do my composition, plug it, grab their email address over here at the real estate page, come back, plug it back in. You might use the same title up in the top. Where do you go when the banks say no? And then plug it into the subject line. And then leave everything else in there. They don't know that, the person sending it is not Ernest Odell, as long as you get credit for it when you use your link. But if they do happen to call back, I can do a pre-close, okay? You don't have to get bothered with it. All you're having to do is punch them through. I've got a 16-year-old kid over in the Philippines that's thinking about doing this. Angie's niece is thinking about doing this. So, if I would have her probably work California, Oregon, and Washington State, I'd probably have her start on the West Coast or start in Hawaii and Alaska and then, go to the West Coast. So I would assign her, certain states. That way we don't overlap each other, because if you start overlapping people, they tend to get, irritated. This website, National Real Estate Pages, there's probably about 355,000 agents total in all counties, in all states, counties, and parishes across the U.S. Some of them have been shaken out during the real estate collapse of 2008. So some of them might bounce back on you, but that's okay. Save them. You can put them into a bounce file. What I do is, if a bounce comes in, I open up my email program, and when I see it come in, I just move them into a bounce file or a bounce folder. That way I keep track of them. So if I was to scroll down to my IBF, a little slow on the uptake. All right, IBF. Okay, I put it in the failure file. So call it failures or bounce or whatever. I got 4 bounces the other day when I did 17 emails in Hockley County. On National Real Estate, not National Real Estate, but on Google, I'm going to discard that. I would end up going down here and finding any bounces that went in here. Let's say this is a bounce, and I want to move that. I would create a new folder for it by clicking on the move button, and then click on new label and say move it to this label, which would create a folder for it. Okay, and then you could scroll down to your bounce files. We'll call Pinterest my bounce file, and there is each one of those bounces as they come in. You could keep them in there, and then if you wanted to send them to me, what I can do is cull through them and cull them out of the database, because I know these people over here that own this site, and they just really haven't been doing a whole lot with it. Okay, as long as I don't have too many people working this. I'm in contact with the MLS system to get a new updated list of realtors. They've probably lost, I don't know, 10 or 20% of their realtor base. So it's not a real big loss. You know, they still have over 300,000 realtors in the United States. Gary, do you have any questions?
No, I've read through this a couple times with you.
Okay.
That's really good.
When I get this rendered and uploaded to YouTube, I'll send both of you guys a copy of this link so Dennis can watch this. Right now, let's see, we've been going for how many minutes now? Trying to see how long have we been.
About 45 minutes.
We've been running 45 minutes. Okay. Well, why don't I do this? I'll call it quits for right now and put this on render and upload it to YouTube. Excuse me, and we'll talk to each other later. Since this is not going to be a public, this is just, be for Dennis and your reference if you ever need it.
Okay.
And if this video doesn't answer any questions, don't hesitate to call me, Dennis.
Okay, I'll take a look at it probably Monday.
Okay.
It ain't open tomorrow. Closes.
In the meantime, I will send Dennis his Word template, and then I'll send Gary his Word template. And Dennis, I guess, you could start right there in Florida and just start punching them out. Spend about 15, 30 minutes a day doing, one page a day of those realtors, and as they start converting, I'll just start sending them money. And the nice thing about this is I don't have to report it. It's not like I'm going to have a W-9 from you. So I'm not going to be sending out 1099s on this. You bring the leads in, I'll send you the money.
Okay, perfect.
Because, this is pretty much you do it on your own schedule.
Right.
If I have to dictate, when and where you do it, then it becomes an employment situation, but I can show you how to do it and then leave it up to you as to when and where. And that's basically independent contractor status, and then, you report your own income, and that's up to you if you report it or not, because I'm not going to keep track of, what I pay out in the way of a W-9 or a 1099. So, I'll call my end of it, I'll call it, any commissions that I pay out, I'll just call it, advertising expenses on my part. Because I'm just paying other people to advertise. I'll be paying you guys, to do the advertising. But it's something we can get started on even today, because even on weekends, Sundays, if you can do it, or during the week, people are going to be checking their emails. Bounces, don't worry about them. We're going to get a few. Okay. Just in Hockley County alone, I only had like 17 agents, and I had 4 bounces. I had 13 good ones. And it's probably because those 4 died. Who knows? They either died or got shook out in the 2008. Yeah, they probably got shook out in the market shakedown. Yeah. All right. Well, Dennis, good to hear from you again.
Yeah.
Look forward to working with you, seeing some money get in your pocket. Gary, I'll call you in a little bit on Skype.
It needs some.
Okay, I'm going to take a walk outside and wake up.
Okay.
Not that I'm asleep. It's just been a long night, but I'll be back on.